Good morning to you. It is a cold one this morning. I don't know, the wind chill's below zero, but it's a cold one. My fingers were freezing inside my gloves. So I'm thankful for a warm vehicle, that's for sure. And it took a long time to warm up. It's just right now it's starting to warm up, and I turned the fan down so that you guys could actually hear me talk. I've been, I don't know, busy. You know, life keeps you busy. Or I'm just lazy and I don't get anything done. There's that option too. So when it's so cold, I don't feel like doing anything. You know, I've been trying to figure out what it is. So every year in the winter, I get out, I go out on the trail, I take the dogs out, I go for a run in the snow. And this year, I have not been on the trail once. And I want to blame it on when I was sick, with that thing last fall where I was sick for so long. That since then, I was out on the trail one day. I walked back there. And then I was like, man, I don't feel like doing it, All right, my arm's getting really tired. I'll blame that on that thing I had last fall, too. Bye. All right, so... I dropped Eric off at school, and then I ran to the grocery store, and I picked up a few items. Yeah, I didn't literally drop her off. It was figuratively dropping her off. And at the end of the month, I'm going to put all my grocery hauls, although Dutch said that's not a haul, together and make one video so you can see what I got in a month. We'll see how that goes. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm back home, and I got to get to work. Wilder, were you making noise while I was trying to record? And now he stopped. He's looking from... Who's come out to play? Have you come out to play? Hello. Hello, little Piper dog. You're a good girl. Okay, Dutch and I are on a date.
No way.
Yeah, we're going to the auto parts store together.
We're not going out to eat. We're going to the auto parts store.
Yeah, a lot of people.
My choice.
They do. Yeah.
Yes, I'm dragging her along.
Well, not
kicking
exactly.
And screaming.
Not exactly. So we're going to the auto parts store so we can get a rotor.
Ice cream cone.
Rotor ice cream's cone.
What else you get at the auto parts store?
Get your rotor turned. Okay, I couldn't remember that. I knew it was something, and not an ice cream cone. Why would we want to get ice cream? Do you see outside?
I got
it's all snowy out there.
I got 4 rotors getting turned right now.
All right.
Coming in for some grease or oil?
No, I think I'll stay out here.
You don't need any?
No.
Are you sure?
No. There's the state police. I see legs underneath their car, so that must mean there's a guy from inside the auto parts store with the code reader reading the code. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Yeah, the store guy is going in with the code reader, so that's what he was doing for the state police. Try not to be too obvious here. Like, hold my camera up and recording them wasn't obvious. So you all know I've been working at making sourdough bread with the wet starter. And then I watched the Elliott Homestead. I can link the video down below. And she makes a dry sourdough starter. And now this is more what I was looking for. Less waste. It's what I've read about in these old books, like the old miners. And they called them sourdoughs because they carried a little sourdough with them. So that's more what I've been looking for. So I'm trying my hand at it. This is my starter. And I'm going to try making a loaf of bread today. That's the starter. Now I have to make the leaven. Okay. This is a 2-day process from this starter to getting the bread ready to go in the oven. It's passive. You just let it sit and do its thing, but it takes time, so you have to plan ahead. Okay, there it sits. That's the, I don't know what part of it she called this. I gotta look it up. Hold on. Okay, that's the leaven. It's going to rise and bubble up. And then I started another starter down here. And we'll see how it goes. It's time for an update on how my sourdough bread is coming. The one I started with the dry starter. See, it's been hours since I did that, so I probably just said that here for you guys to hear. And I'm just repeating myself, but it's been hours, so it doesn't feel like I'm repeating myself. Do you hear that? Not the cat. The cat, she's in heat. And then there's the dog who's got little feet there. I meant the quiet in the house. Everybody's gone. Well, my older son is sleeping upstairs because he works nights, so he's sleeping now. Okay, the house is not quiet, even with everybody gone. Are you okay, Piper? She's like hacking up a hairball there. She's a dog. You okay, little Piper? You got me worried there. What'd you eat? Hang on. Are you okay? The big dog's got to get in there. Oh, look. Side note, our pull-out drawer is going in. Guess I'm not supposed to show you that yet. So that's all you get to see. Anyway, back to the dough. Let me show you how it's coming along. I have my battery pack for my phone is sitting on top of it. All right, looky here. Look at that. See, it's getting all nice and bubbly. Not quite ready. And then if you remember, I started a new starter for the dry starter. I mean, it's not really dry. Whoa, and that'll sit there. It's getting bigger. And oh, does that smell like yeast? But there's only natural yeast in there. Yeast from the air. That should sit on the counter overnight, and my house is a little cool, so it's taking longer than it probably normally would if it were summertime or something. I think this evening the leaven here will be ready to turn into a loaf of bread, and then it'll rise overnight. I think that's how it'll go, and then sometime tomorrow it'll be ready to bake. I don't know. I'm trying something different than the other sourdough bread I made, because if you make it the way I made the sourdough bread before, you waste so much and you have to keep feeding it, the starter. And this with the dry starter, you don't have to keep feeding it. It's not so wasteful. I think I'll like this idea better. Oh, and you remember Holly? She's been featured in some of my videos. She asked for a starter, a few months ago, and I said, well, I don't have one. I haven't gotten one going yet. But when I finally got that one going, I said, okay, Holly, I have a healthy starter. Because, you have all this extra starter. And I gave it to her. Well, she made her first loaf of bread right about the same time I was making mine. So then I said, a week later, I'm like, have you heard of dry starter? She's like, no. So we're both doing the dry starter sourdough bread at the same. Actually, she's ahead of me. I made the starter and put it in the fridge, and I just haven't had time to make the bread. But she did. So she's ahead of me, and she made some rolls. I think she sent me a picture, and maybe I'll share that here now. I don't think she'll mind. Holly, you don't mind, do you? And yeah, so I'm gonna try my hand at it and see how it goes. Yeah, it's so exciting. Aren't you excited? I'm excited, yeah. And Piper's excited. She wants to go out into the fresh snow. Look at that. Looks like somebody threw some salt down on the steps there. Yeah. Oh, it's a really, really fine snow. Oh, no. Both dogs got out at the same time. That never goes well. Never goes well. Piper leads Wilder astray. I think I'm going to have to get all my stuff on and go chase him down. The other day, Erica had both dogs out, and suddenly Piper took off and Wilder chased her. They were down the road. I jumped in the car and ran after them. It was horrible. I hope they don't do that now. I don't even see them outside. They're already gone. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I went to go get my boots on, and I looked out the door and I saw them run past. So I ran and opened the door, and Piper came running. And then if she comes, then Wilder comes. He only has a problem when he doesn't listen and he takes off after her. She just has a mind of her own and does whatever she wants anytime she wants, unless I bribe her with a TREAT, then she comes. So I bribe her a lot. All right, one more check on my starter before I go to bed. I already put the dough in the refrigerator because it said 3 to 6 hours, but that's in the middle of the night. I'm not coming down to check it. We'll see how this is. Look at this. It's starting to bubble up. And it's more than doubled in size. Not bad, not bad. I think this dry method is gonna work better than the hot mess of the, see, I haven't added to that starter for a long time. The hot mess of the liquid starter. Okay, it's day 2 with the sourdough bread with the dry starter. And I've got a loaf rising here. Look at that. Ooh, it's looking really good. It's a long process, but it's looking good. They do say when you first start out with a new dry starter that you might not get the, I don't know, poof that you will later on when the yeast is more active in the starter, but it's looking pretty good right now. We'll see how it goes today. There's my finished loaf. That looks really good. Wow, now I just have to let it cool off. And then we'll slice it and see how it tastes. It cooled off and I sliced it and look at... All right, I'm pretty happy with how this bread has turned out. It's a long process, but I think it's a success. It worked. It worked. Unless I bribe her with a TREAT, then she comes. So I bribe her a lot.